Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is CabinCast, and I'm your host, Timothy Meyer. Today I'm joined by my brother, Christopher Meyer.
Hello.
And our special guest, yet again, Michael Tyler.
Hello. Michael's been on more podcasts than you, Tim, so...
That's true. You had a special guest.
Alright, yes. Special guest, Timothy Meyer. Today we will be discussing a subject that is dear to all our hearts, and we consider ourselves semi-experts with the system, and it is school.
Yay!
Alright, so first things first, how was your sixth form experience, Michael?
My sixth form experience. Well, guys, I'm off to university. My sixth form experience was good enough that I am going to university, let's say, so I would say it was real good. You will look forward to sixth form. GCSEs are nowhere near as good as sixth form. In sixth form, you get so much more freedom. You do 3 or 4 subjects, but I would say the earnest to do well is actually it's down to you. I know GCSE is kind of down to you too, but in sixth form, although there's less resources, but it's the first time where you get proper independence with learning. Like, I feel like in GCSE, you spend so much time in the classroom. I'm not going to say you don't even have to revise outside. That's not it. But I mean, you don't have to put as much time outside of class as you do in sixth form. So, how was sixth form? That's a big question. It was good. I'll leave it at that.
It was just good.
It was fun.
What do you mean by less resources in sixth form?
Probably because when I was in GCSEs, maybe I'm just thinking. I'm probably just thinking YouTube, to be fair. But when I was in GCSEs and I was trying to revise my science, there were so many science GCSE videos I could check out. But then, and for computer science too, there's just so many of them. But then I get to sixth form, and I think it's just because it's a higher level. It's probably the same as university too.
Yeah, it's more niche, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more niche, and just less people are going to be doing it to that same level. So it's just kind of...
It's another level at university, because like you try to search the video, and it's like an Indian guy with a really thick accent and a really blurry video camera. So you're trying to see the stuff that he draws on the board, but it's just like it's filmed with a freaking potato. So you're sitting there like a potato, your head's a potato, all mashed, and when you have this stuff, you feel kind of screwed at some points, but you just have to make sure you have friends that help you out, or just bear with it and find other resources.
Fair play. My sixth form experience was really good. Learned a lot of stuff, you know.
Chris is 12 years old, by the way.
That's an insult to me.
I'm joking.
14 years old, learn it.
Yeah, that is the voice of a 14-year-old right
14-year-old man.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do you have anything else to add about your sixth form experience, Michael?
If you go to a new school, I guess, for your sixth form, then it's probably another opportunity for you to
make friends.
More, I was gonna say, you kind of make friends, but more test your social skills at making new friends. It's another opportunity that you just gotta be lobbed into a whole new crowd, and you just gotta make friends with people or enjoy loneliness for that 2 years. But I didn't have that experience. I went to the same school, so I knew so many people. So I was a bit of a pussy.
There's like a film where like this kid tries to reinvent himself when he goes to a new school, but I think everyone finds out that he's like a secret nerd or something like that. But I haven't seen it.
That sounds like a reality. I know that sort of situation when a guy from a guy goes to another school, and then he had, let's say, less than appropriate stories from our school, and then over the course of the 2 years, those stories start to be told,
seeping their ways into society.
And then the whole narrative behind this guy, he had a fresh start, but he no longer had that fresh start. All his past was coming back to bite. So
was it a new country he moved in, or just a new school?
It was a new school. It was still kind of relatively close. So here's a good piece of advice. If you're going to a new college and you think that your past ain't coming back, you know, my best piece of advice is just don't be dumb. Okay, just never be dumb. If you're dumb in GCSE, if you be sending nudes or something, those nudes are coming back for you. Okay, if you've been like talking to people in strange ways, it will come back to bite your ass.
Do you know this from experience, Michael?
No, that was just an example.
Okay.
That's because it's the most common one, right? With these youngsters.
Yeah, especially when people like screenshot group chats of your weird messages, like True Geordie, isn't there?
That's another recent thing. Yeah.
Oh, what happened there?
He was messaging some girl and he was talking some shady stuff. Let's just say that. Yeah, I know that they're PG family friendly for the podcast, but I mean we can talk about them.
You can research it in your own time, but continue, Chris.
Yeah, he's just being exposed for all his kinks, I suppose.
Kinky.
He's a very sexually orientated guy.
Because like
True Geordie.
It was kind of kinky stuff he was talking about, but I was saying to Chris, I don't know whether he was just kind of like exaggerating / joking around. But what was your response, Chris?
I thought his response was that he was exaggerating and joking around, but I suppose
you would say that though if you then.
Yeah.
Oh, they were that bad.
Yeah.
They were really bad.
Because from seeing his podcast, you can tell he's that kind of
laddyish,
sexual.
Because I swear he's already had like 1 or 2 porn stars on the podcast, and you can just tell he's that sort of guy, right? But I guess when you see it in text, when you see him just being serious, or well, at least people think he's being serious. But what is he? Is it him saying that he was just kind of joking? Either way, I kind of want to see these messages now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that later. Don't worry, I'll do that later.
Okay. All right.
No more Geordie Shore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Geordie Shore. What do you mean?
Oh wait, Geordie Shore.
True Geordie.
True Geordie. Same dude. Oh no. Look, let's touch upon we talked about sixth form. Let's talk about
Chris's school experience.
Yeah.
What is my school experience?
Because what year are you in again?
Year 9, moving on to year 10, right, Chris?
Yep.
So you're just about to start the journey.
I've already chosen 2 of my GCSE subjects for last year. So I've done German and Geography, which are just a bit of a ball ache, really. You know, well, is what it is. You know, is what it is.
How's so a ball like just hard to learn?
I guess so. Well, no, geography isn't that hard. It's just a bit boring.
You just colour in maps, don't you? That's what you do in geography. And colour in.
What did you do geography,
Chris,
Michael?
Chris raves on about geography to me, saying you should have picked it instead of history. But like,
no,
I enjoyed learning about Nazi Germany and Hitler's rise to power.
But that's only one part of it. You've got the history of medicine, guys. That seems really interesting.
Yeah.
And the date when the germ was first discovered.
That's right. The Hippocratic Oath and whatnot. I got an A star actually to see that. I'm happy. Although Ben took geography, he was on the podcast last time, and he might join in later today. He got an A star in geography. So, to be honest, I don't really think it matters which one you pick.
True.
Just follow the one that you're more interested in.
Very true.
I didn't even get to choose one of them. Well, more like I didn't.
What, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have to choose one of them.
Oh, damn. You got forced to do PE by Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's our equivalent.
Forced to pick? Really?
Yeah. Well, actually, that's not true. We could have done PE GCSE, PE BTEC, or core. And then if you were competent, then they just kind of force you to do core. Sorry, not core, GCSE. So in that regard, I guess we're all forced to do PE because even if you aren't going to be assessed in it, you still have to do the lessons. But I think it's RV that we're forced to do, which other schools might not be forced to do. Which is
I don't think it's a GCSE course at my school.
I don't. Yeah, we weren't forced to do it.
Okay. Well, that was a fun subject. Learning about the tabernacle, the Eucharist, the
tabernacle.
Isn't that the tent that Moses?
Yeah, something like that. You know, I don't remember.
Yeah,
there were 2 markers for the definitions. I do not remember them. In fact, if you just skip those, you could probably still get an A star in the whole.
Really?
Yeah, because there was like 2 markers, 4 markers, 8 markers, 6
What did they actually test you on?
They test you on. It's really subjective. They'll give you. Actually, no, it's not. It's quite subjective. They'll give you a question, right? Let's say they give you a question such as, "Do you believe euthanasia is good?" Something like that, or explain euthanasia from a Catholic perspective. And then what you have to do is you just list reasons why it's good and use the good old structure of, is it PEE? Point, evidence, explain, or something like that.
And then in English it's Zoom as well, isn't there?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't done any of that for so long. You do that, and then you have to do counterpoints. And depending on if it's an 8 marker, 6 marker, just depends on how many points you do. But it's just, you just have to memorize a bunch of points from a book and use your common sense, and you'll do well. So it was really easy, to be fair.
Okay, so what is your opinion on the youth in Asia?
The youth in Asia?
Yeah.
The youth in Asia, that is 100%.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I was just from a meme.
my view on the euthanasia. What is this?
Do you want to explain euthanasia for all those people who don't know what it is, Michael?
Show, actually, euthanasia is kind of when I'll just give the example of you got a relative in hospital, and let's say they can't really.
Chris, did you know what euthanasia meant?
Not before this. Oh, it's clogged. Okay.
Is that why?
I was like, yeah. Well, many listeners will be wondering what euthanasia is.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say that they'll be in a potato state. How do you say that in a? Okay, let's say
they just want to die.
Yeah. Kill them off.
Oh, actually no. Yeah, I should actually explain the difference. Okay, voluntary euthanasia and involuntary euthanasia. So yeah, involuntary euthanasia, that's the sort of thing where somebody just kind of wants to die, but they don't want to commit suicide in the sense of jumping in front of a car, jumping off the bridge, but they want to end their life. So there's some countries in Europe, like, is it Switzerland or Sweden, one of them?
Oh yeah, Switzerland, I think.
Yeah, that you can actually go and euthanize yourself kind of, if you have certain doctor's permissions, all that's kind of complicated. But that's when it's their choice to do it. The other type is involuntary, when you have let's say you have a relative right in hospital and they're in a coma. Let's say the doctors say they do not think this person's ever going to get out of this coma. Yeah. Involuntary would just be you as, let's say, the parent or the child, I don't know, you decide whether they live or die, so you pull the plug or not. So yeah, that's the definition of it.
Yeah, I read somewhere that there's a proposed idea of having like a roller coaster in Switzerland where the person who wants to die, they can ride on it, and because of the extreme G-forces, it kills them. But damn. I was thinking like you could make it so you get a bit of adrenaline going. You're like, whoa, actually, I'm enjoying life. I know it's much more complex than that, but you know.
I get you.
And like they could have a big button like to stop it and say they don't want to die, you know.
Oh, okay.
Or like, I was also thinking you could have another course where you sign up if you felt like you might want to kill yourself. This is getting deep, man.
Yeah.
But the course is made so you have the best time of your life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Going up levels. So you get stage 1, that might be like fishing on a boat. Stage 2 might be go-karting. Stage 3 might be parachuting. And then if you still don't like it, go into the psychedelics. See if you can connect with God or some aliens. Try and find a purpose in life. I don't know. Obviously, this is all complex matters. I'm just...
No, that makes sense, because it's kind of weird how the process of actually trying to get yourself euthanized is weird, because I think what you do is you just have to keep trying to convince the doctor that you are in a mental state and you are actually really depressed and want to kill yourself. That's all you have to do. The doctors, they will talk to you, but your job as a person who wants to be euthanized is just to convince them that you are sane and you need to die. So I don't think there is so much of an emphasis on them trying to convince you to live. It's more the person who wants to die trying to convince the doctors to allow them to die. So what you're saying makes some sense, you know, for there to be more programs to, before they, like, if somebody came, I was a doctor, somebody comes up to me, I want to be euthanized, then you get them on this course first, and you're like, okay, go through all these stages. And then if you get to the very end and you're like, oh, I'm done with this, then let's send you on a roller coaster. So that could, whether, I don't know how the course would go, but your idea with the course could be very good.
Touching new boundaries here on this Cabin Calls.
Nah, but what do you think of involuntary euthanasia?
Is that
that's the one which
just
is more,
killing them?
Yeah, that's the one which is more controversial.
What, are they like a vegetable, like kind of in a coma?
Essentially.
They're kind of alive for the sake of the relatives, aren't they?
Yeah, so I'd say do whatever the relatives do.
I think the relatives need to make their peace and then just let the person go. I reckon.
If the doctors say that this person won't make out of this coma, but the relatives still want them there, I'd say let them have him.
What?
Let him be
Go
the
free.
potato for however long he lasts.
Mm-hmm.
And then there may have to be like a cut-off time. You know?
What, because of like the money, the sapping?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
money.
It's all about ethics, isn't it? Ethics is it's a big old rabbit hole of discussion and controversy.
What if you heard that your, let's say your dad's like 60 years old, and they say we think he'll be in a coma for 30 years? What then? Do you wait out
30 years.
30 years? And
You
you're
have to
paying-
look at the stats, I reckon.
Okay.
It's like what's the likelihood of someone living to 90 after a coma at 60? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because to me, it would be really, really difficult. Because even if it was a small chance that I could see my parent again, even if it's in that long distance, the emotional part of me would want to be like, yeah. And also because they have a chance of survival, I'd also feel like it would be their choice to decide whether they live or die. Because, well, they're not essentially when the person's in a coma and never going to come out. In that instance, they might as well be kind of dead, because they will never, well, at least if you're told that they'll never come out, then yeah, they'll just never come out. But if you're told they'll come out in 30 years, they still have a life they could live. Maybe they wanted to live to 100 or something. Maybe they wanted to like see their grandchildren or something. Who knows? So I feel kind of weird. But the 30 years of, because you'd probably have to pay for that crap. That would,
Yeah, I guess. When you're in a coma, does it feel like sleep? So like 1 minute you're awake, and then the next minute you're waking up.
I think so. I would assume so, because I don't think there's any conscious.
You're in a state of limbo, aren't you?
Because I heard there's some cases where like the person can actually hear around them,
Oh, okay.
but they can't respond. Obviously,
That's weird. Yeah.
that's freaky, man.
Oh, I know those ones actually. Yeah, I thought those ones aren't temporary though. I thought, or are those? Is that still a temporary one? Because I know ones where the person, they could have been involved in an accident or something, and because of that, they could even just like be sitting there like still, and maybe the only thing they can move is their eyes, and they know everything which is going around, but they just can't really respond to anything other than move their eyes.
I'm sure technology in the future might come up with a solution, because like there's lots of medical advancement with helping paralysis.
Yeah, stem cells.
Yeah, Chris is our stem cell expert.
Oh,
We're learning about this in biology, so you guys be prepared for a little lesson from your main man, Christopher Meyer.
I learned about that in year 11. What?
Year 11.
You learned about that in year 9? That's crazy.
He made a test on it. So you have two different types of stem cells. You have adult stem cells, which everyone has in their bones. They can only be, differentiated into certain types of cells. But then you have the babies, you know. And are they embryonic stem cells? Is that what they're called?
Don't look at me. I don't.
So
Yeah.
from an embryo.
Yeah, or a blastocyst, whatever you want to call it.
What's a blastocyst?
It's just a collection of cells in the womb.
So that comes to another definition. Is it a baby or not?
Oh no.
Yeah.
The main ethical question that comes with harvesting embryonic cells, because embryonic stem cells, there's some research going into that, whether they can cure paralysis. Is whether it's morally right to harvest the stem cells from the babies inside the womb.
Does that kill the baby?
Yeah, I didn't come this prepared to. You can't be asking a question like that.
Because I read somewhere that they can turn like your belly cells into stem cells, or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's quite ethical, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So-
Maybe the baby ones are just stronger or something. But what about? I'm not saying this is what they should be doing, but you know, Oh wait. Is it just embryos or is it fetus? It's not fetus, right? Or is it just?
What's the definition of embryo and fetus?
Basically the same thing. They're just different stages.
embryo is just the stage.
Embryo is
before
much
fetus.
earlier, right? Because you know when you do IVF or something,
Yeah.
and then you have multiple embryos, but only like one of them will become a baby or something.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are just kind of thrown away.
I thought they were. implanted into the womb. Oh, okay.
I don't think all of them, because if all of them were, and then all of them were successful, then she'd have like as many babies as you wanted, right? Like, oh yeah, I want 7 babies kind of out me, right? Oh, but maybe I'm talking nonsense. Wait, embryos are the fertilized ones, right? And then they grow in.
Yeah.
You don't have to destroy an embryo to collect stem cells.
Oh, okay. But they don't come out deformed or anything, do they? I'd imagine not.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Okay, and then I guess it might be...
Sounds like a good idea.
I'm sure there's a risk that they do, though. With everything, of course.
Alright, did you research the belly fat ones? Just the belly embryos?
Nope.
Okay, I'll research that then.
I assume it's probably just the cells from the embryos. Saying better is weird. They are more adaptable, maybe. I don't know. But...
that they are more adaptable, Michael.
Oh, okay. So is that why they're not using like the stem cell? Well, the body ones you already have, or something like that.
Yeah. We don't look this deep into it in year 9 biology.
You need to get back to your books, dude. What's going on? Did you do well on that test?
This is some. I got. Oh, it's 1 or 2 biology tests.
Mm-hmm.
I even got 36 out of 40.
That's not good enough, Chris. That's not good enough.
Or
if you knew these answers, then you would get
39. But I don't think it was. I think it was the 36.
Oh, okay. So
36.
39 is what you told your friends that you got, right?
Yeah, that was in the second biology test.
I understand.
People don't need to know this, Michael.
Wait, is this when you get to choose whether you do double or triple or something?
Yeah, you should choose triple if you want to do anything in STEM.
Sorry, Art. Oh,
what?
All those people listening who are like, oh, but I was only chosen to do double, and I want to be a
unlucky guys.
No, I completely disagree with that.
We chose
science means nothing. Okay.
We chose
just do A levels.
We chose to do triple science or double. We don't.
You chose.
Yeah.
We didn't have. Well, you could choose not to do triple science, but you couldn't choose to do triple science. Like you had to be in top sets. Or I was in second set at the time, and then they chose like 3 of us from second set to also be part of triple. But yeah, you definitely could not be in third set and be allowed to do triple.
Yeah, I think there's a grade limit actually. If you get above a 5, which you guys wouldn't know what that means because you're an old.
I know what
old
5
GCSEs.
means. I did. No, my GCSEs. I had English and maths done in numbers. Weirdly, so.
Wait, really? And then
anything else, just letters.
That's strange.
So I got an 8 in English language and maths. Strange.
Damn, that's
like I thought I was so bad at English language, which is why I still can't imagine getting an 8 in that.
8.
Is that equivalent to A?
It's
an A star.
It's like a low A star, and then a 9 is a high A star.
Damn.
I still don't know. Why would they have such dumb grades? Like 9 and an 8, low A star, 8, high A star. What is wrong with them?
Okay.
I don't understand.
Well, back to the stem cells quickly. According to Wikipedia, there are 3 known as accessible sources of adult stem cells in humans: bone marrow, like Chris said, adipose tissue, which is like belly fat, and blood. Stem cells can also be taken from umbilical cord blood just after birth.
Ooh. You got all those nurses on the side, like, oh, get the blood. all those buckets.
And then you can eat the umbilical cord if you want, Chris.
Nice. I thought it was not the pancreas. What was it called?
Eating the pancreas.
The placenta that you could eat.
You could probably
eat it. Fry it up.
Yeah, you? But it'd be like a sausage, wouldn't you? The umbilical cord. Would you eat it?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You would eat your wife's umbilical cord?
No, the wife's placenta.
Would you actually?
Yeah.
That's real dodgy, dude.
Would
that is real dodgy indeed.
Is it cannibalism?
Chris, do you want me to get a picture of one up?
I maybe haven't thought this decision through.
I just want to know: did you eat breakfast on the day that you eating that bloody placenta? Like, are you just that hungry?
No,
maybe not.
He's been up all night waiting for his wife to give birth. He's been strolling with a cigar, with his hat on, his fedora, stressed out of his mind. He's pulling out his head. His wife's in there all alone, just giving birth with just a nurse to hold her hand. And he's thinking, cool, I'm a bit peckish. I hope that placenta comes soon. Where's the salt, man? I forgot the salt.
You just bring your, like, I don't know, you bring your bloody hob with your
deep
fryer
fat
too.
Fryer.
Put that straight in.
Do you have any incubators, nurse? I need a slow roast this placenta.
Oh no.
Oh.
We better tell that the one person who doesn't know what a placenta is. It's not a baby, by the way. We're not talking about eating a baby.
We're not eating a baby, to be clear. It's the thing that connects the baby to the
womb,
woman,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the man.
The umbilical.
Or the man. The man could.
Oh,
what?
Oh, Michael. Whoa.
Men can be pregnant. Remember? Haven't you heard this? Haven't you heard these news stories yet? The headlines.
I've seen Junior by you know, is it called Junior? The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and he gives birth.
Oh
wait, what?
Yeah.
What's this?
It's a film.
No. Oh no, I've not seen this.
This is like from the 90s, I think. So it's not properly hench Arnold.
Arnold giving birth.
Can you imagine just Arnold?
What a man.
Really, really hench Arnold. Did you see the baby pop out?
Yeah, it's Junior. It's 1994. Look, there's a picture of is that Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito.
Touching Arnold's belly.
That is incredibly cute. That picture is incredibly cute.
Yeah, it's probably not his real belly.
we need more stuff like that. More stuff like that. Like, do you think, Chris? Do you think men could be pregnant?
Suppose not.
How insensitive.
But
all right, shall we move on to another subject?
Look, Chris, your future job prospects they're on the line right now, depending on your.
yes, they can. Any future job employers. Yes, they can. I 100% agree with everything.
This is not really Chris on the podcast. It's actually Jordan Smith.
Jordan Smith, yes, Jordan Smith.
His nickname's
Hello.
Chris.
Yeah.
Jordan Smith. We've just buggered someone called Jordan Smith, though. That's the thing, Chris.
Oh, that is.
Jordan Smith.
What is audio?
Hope you're doing well, Jordan.
Wait, what about Will Smith's son? Isn't his name?
Jaden.
Oh, Jaden. Oh, same thing. It's just his random. Like, it's just Jordan. Well, Will Smith had a random son with some random lady dude, and his name's
Lady
Jordan.
dude. Lady dude, Michael.
No, lady, comma dude. Okay.
Oh.
Lady, come. Dude.
Yeah. Oh look, we never touched upon university life.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't, because you're the expert over here, dude.
Yeah. All right. I feel like I'll ask you your expectations.
Expectations. Yeah.
Oh.
And then I can fill in the blanks.
All right.
And elaborate later on.
My expectations. As they say, booty, bitches, and debt.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. That was obviously a joke.
Same as softness.
Is that what they actually say?
No, nobody has probably. Well, the first two, yes, and then everyone knows you get into. Actually, yes, that is what they say. Just probably phrased it. They would phrase it a bit differently.
Yeah.
But what are my expectations from university? For starters, I think I'm expecting to meet people who they care about sex a lot, right? Like they put sex on a pedestal, kind of. So when I'm going around being like, oh, I'm waiting for marriage, I might be seen as a bit strange, but at the same time, once I embrace that, I think I'm gonna get respect from people. I think it's the same thing which kind of happens to me now, in the fact that, you know, some of my friends, they are becoming adults, they're doing all these stuff, but because I'm consistent and I'm sticking to my morals,
Yeah.
then they like that. They like the fact that
You're honest.
yeah, that I'm honest and I'm actually consistent. So I think I'm expecting to be even crazier people when it comes to I say mostly sex, because when it comes to the drug department, I've seen it all at this point. I've literally seen it all. You can't put a drug in front of me or do a drug in front of me that I've not seen or heard stories about, so that's not going to be a new experience for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole new freedom to have, let's say, some random lady trying to grind upon me and me being like, no, that is...
Begone, Fot.
Begone. Yes, begone. This new self-control that Michael Ty was going to learn is going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
Are you going to jump into different kinds of groups of people?
Yeah, I think so. I'm always open to plenty of different people, because I don't particularly care if you got 10 holes by the side or if you go to book club every week. Okay, as long as you're just a cool person and you're open to new experiences, then I can hang with you. So I think I'll be I'll be trying to join as many kind of different groups as I possibly can, because I don't want to be part of one little cliquey group where we just sit down and program together like oh yeah. Because as much as when you get in one group, I assume at university it could feel really comfortable while they're there, but while they're not there, you're just kind of sitting alone like, oh, where's my peeps?
Yeah.
And university gets a lot more lonely than anywhere else, right? Because you literally are away from your family, away from all your hometown friends.
Kind of starting anew, unless some of your friends come with you.
Yeah.
In my case. So.
Alright, how many friends did you get? Like, who came?
Well, literally just Fraser.
Oh, so one.
Yeah, someone else from my school came, but we only met her in the nightclub, the campus nightclub, and she didn't want to see us.
She didn't, oh wow, okay, that's not.
She's not really a drinker, so we're probably acting a bit
fair enough.
leery.
Oh, I get you.
Not in a weird way, you know.
Yeah. No, I have one person I know quite well. I've actually known her since nursery. She's been in my school since nursery, so she's going to Loughborough, and we were actually going to be in the same accommodation, but in the end, when we tried booking for that accommodation, none of us even got it. So, yeah, we're in completely different places now. But yeah, she's going to be there, and I know a couple of boyfriends of girls that I know who are also going. So, I'll know of people, and I'll know one person pretty well.
Okay,
that's all right.
That's all right. It's good to have connections, like, because through one person, you get to like go to a whole flats like prees or something like that.
Yeah.
Make new friends there.
Yeah.
And go onwards and upwards, like you were saying earlier with house parties.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that.
Does uni have a lot of alcohol in it?
Yeah.
No, Chris, there's no alcohol whatsoever.
Oh, come on.
It's actually banned.
They're just splashing holy water on each other. They do no holy water.
Fair enough.
Too unholy.
Yeah.
Any Christian lifestyles at uni, please, come on.
Communion wine.
You're getting drunk of that communion wine, is it?
At university, though, here's a question: is drinking generally just kept till nighttime, or you got like some daytime drinkers?
It's generally like a nighttime thing.
Oh, okay.
Unless you like finish exams or something like that. But literally, you'll be just depressed if you do it in the day, man.
So it's not people. You don't see people in the kitchen just with a strong bowl, like.
No, unless you have like warped sleep schedules.
Okay.
I'm sure there's people out there who drink wine at about 8 a.m. but they might be going through some tricky stuff, you know.
I get you. Because I have, if I, oh no, if you go to like a restaurant, is it standard for people at university to just get a drink? Like, you're not going to be ordering like a Coke or something when you could just order a cocktail, or do they?
Well, what do you mean? Like, do most people order alcohol with their meals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is that an adult thing?
Well, yeah. Whenever I go spoons, I'll just get a beer or something. But you don't have to get alcohol all the time.
I feel like I when going through spoons, I've never seen anybody just with a non-alcoholic drink though with their meal. The adults, I mean.
I have Diet Coke sometimes.
Diet Coke. Oh, I must be getting all these Diet Cokes mixed up with vodka and Coke. I just must.
Probably.
A pint of vodka and Coke, dude.
It's like when you have Diet Coke and you're like, whoa, I can taste the vodka in this, even though there's no vodka. That's when you know you got some problems.
100%. I thought the problem is when you can't taste the vodka anymore, you know?
Damn.
Yeah, and then you just, you're out of it.
Gotta do it to him, Michael.
I'm sorry, this is obviously not, we're not talking from experience. I don't know this, it's this life.
Yet?
Do you want to go to... Tim, so what was your summary of university?
Yeah, it was pretty good because I was doing something that I was passionate or had an interest in. So for me, my first 2 years were general at the University of Warwick. Yeah.
Ooh, my brother went there.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, Michael's brother Sam. Shout out to Sam.
Listening. Big ups.
So I did general engineering. First 2 years were a bit tricky because you're doing general, so you're doing modules that you're not the best at, or like you're not too familiar with. So like maybe civil or electronics. But then after the first 2 years, got to pick a stream. Did manufacturing and mechanical engineering. That was pretty fun because we studied about like lean operations, which is
when
like,
you say lean operations,
it's exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I love some lean.
So like cutting down waste and the 7 wastes, cutting them down. Quality as well. There was a lot of business aspects to our modules as well, which was kind of interesting as well. So it was a bit of a break from the maths, although there was some maths in there.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty alright, the academic side. There was obviously ups and downs and tricky phases.
Yeah.
Social side was good as well.
Love that. That's the part that people care about. You care about listening to the social part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
what was your number one tip for making friends?
don't get your nipples out on the first time you meet them.
Is that on purpose?
Unless you're a lady, where
No, I think it's even worse if you're a lady, right? If you're a guy, you can get away with that, right?
Yeah.
No.
true.
If you're a girl and you get your nips out, you're just known as that girl who got her nips out on the first day. If you're a guy, you're just seen as, he's just body positive. I don't know.
There was
Body positive.
there was someone known at our uni for like drinking their own urine
Oh man.
as a party trick or something like that.
Party trick. How unimpressive.
Do the trick, man. Do the trick.
What a party present.
That's
that
not
has to
cider
drink
in my
his piss
cup.
to get the attention. Oh, that's not.
Got
That is
something
good.
in my cup. But what was the question?
Number one tip for making friends.
Oh, for making friends. Just be honest and be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Unless yourself, you're an introvert.
Oh, no.
Just trying to fake it till you make it with your confidence. Join societies that you are actually interested in, and you'll actually turn up again.
Oh,
Instead, don't go to a freaking a mafia club and and just turn up to the first session and never again.
How professional are the societies at unis?
They're run by students. They're quite relaxed and friendly.
Okay.
They're not like, oh, you didn't turn up, you're gonna get a cross.
Yeah.
You're gonna get slapped around the chops. They're now just casual. They're pretty good though.
Okay.
Like some societies go on holiday together.
Oh, that's cute.
So they do something called tours.
Oh, yeah.
So like you can, I think volleyball did a tour to like Spain or sometime. And
Hey, my brother did something like that. He did handball to maybe it was Spain, Barcelona. I actually do not know, but
Yeah.
he's travelled. Mm.
I went with German society. That was pretty fun. To Hamburg.
To the
So
fatherland.
the German society.
Yeah.
Were you like talking German, like speaking German, or?
No, I didn't really know German.
Oh. We like I'm quarter German. You are quarter German, right?
Are we 8th?
Yeah, I think it's 8th, so I don't know if it's... We're more British than German,
Oh
but we're proud of that. 1/8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hail the fatherland. Jokes.
Yeah, because
Future job employees, that was a joke. You'll take this seriously. I am Jordan Smith, not Chris Meyer. So that's me speaking.
The clue's in our last name as well. The last name is German.
You had to drop the second name, didn't you? You had to drop the surname, Chris. Nobody knew you were Chris Meyer. It was just Chris. Nah, yeah.
Could have bleeped it out, Michael.
I mean Jordan Smith. Sorry.
Jordan. Yes,
Nobody
Jordan
knew
Actually-
your
Smith.
second name, Jordan Smith.
Most people pronounce it a different way than our last name, so it's all right if you see it written out.
How would
No,
I pronounce
no
it?
one's gonna know who I am.
I won't say it. I won't give away
Yeah.
your identity. Okay.
Yeah.
No, how was Freshers? Because I got that in like 2 weeks. Or
Freshers
3
week.
weeks, so.
Freshers fortnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You should be speaking to Ben more than me because I went out a few times,
Mhm.
but because I hurt the next day, I didn't go out too much.
Okay.
But it's fun. Like I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but because there's loads of new experiences. Like
Yeah.
you're away from your family. It's new campus, new people. Everyone's excited.
Mm.
A lot of people getting drunk,
Yeah.
but you can have fun without getting drunk as well. Like there was one guy who had fruit shoot for his first breeze, but he later became accustomed to the drinks.
Oh, I get you. I was gonna say that sounds like me, but the decline. Well, to be fair, I don't mind myself with sours. Sours taste nice.
You like sours?
Yeah, apparently everyone hates them. I don't know.
No, sours is alright. I remember your brother really liking sours.
Really?
Yeah, I have a funny story with one of my friends called Captain Nugs.
Captain Nugs.
That's a good name.
he came to our Norwich for a night out. So we were gonna see. Do you remember Chris from Love Island? No, Chris and Kem from Love Island series 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were gonna see Kem at one of the clubs, but he had to cancel. So it turned out to be Scotty T from Geordie Shore or something like that.
I think I've heard him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I hadn't heard of him until that night. But anyway, Alan, I don't know why, but he bought a whole sours bottle to pre-off.
Oh yeah.
And then he calculated it was around like 3,000 calories.
Oh no.
And it was a dodgy sours, I think it was. You know that? I think it was a dodgy one, Rainbow and Ice.
Oh yeah, I don't.
The minty one.
Yeah, I don't like that one as much.
Yeah, so you
It tastes like medicine, doesn't it?
Yeah, minty medicine. So he pre-ed off that, and it was dirty, man. And then we met Scotty T in the club. Got a picture with him. It was all good.
Very nice.
That is a good one, to be fair. Yeah, I could see myself, but even with that, okay, I like what I don't, because I've drank, but I've never even really come close to getting tipsy. I'm the sort of guy who just drinks the Strongbells in the fridge because they don't have fruit shoot in the fridge.
Oh, okay.
And the only other thing I guess I could drink is water because I don't trust what they put in that, like Sprite or Coke. Like, who knows what they... I'll stay away from soft drinks. So I'll just take 2 Strongbells. But if anybody actually can get drunk off 2 Strongbells, then...
They're lightweight.
But that's not me. I don't think most people can.
I wish I could, because like it'd be cheaper and you probably wouldn't get a hangover.
Yeah.
I know some people who can just... Even one Coppersburg.
Really? Oh, wow. That person's cost effective. You get like £5 and he's gone. What, 5 quid? Sorry, 3 quid.
She's quite tiny.
Oh, I get you. She's lucky one.
5, yeah. Well, if you get a 4-pack for about, I don't know, £4, it's a quid. Get yourself drunk for a quid.
Yeah, she's completely gone for like 4 days in a row. She's just got that one Copperberg. Whoa! She goes wild.
Get yourself pounded for £1.
Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna experience the first couple of days of Freshers, 100% sober, and then if I feel fun. Well, the thing is, I don't really want to be in a situation where if I don't enjoy the first couple of days, then I resort to the alcohol. Yeah. Because then obviously I would enjoy myself, but then I'll become reliant on that. But then again, I don't think I can't. I don't think I can't enjoy Freshers without alcohol.
Hey,
wait. No. Let me change that statement. I don't think I won't enjoy Freshers without alcohol. So
you will.
No. I'm trying to say here.
You'll enjoy it sober.
Yeah, I will enjoy it. Yeah, I should have said it like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I will enjoy Freshers sober because I've already gone to parties, all of them sober. I've gone to the club once, completely sober. I just love... I don't know. I get the energy out of I don't know where. It must be the music, just the atmosphere. But I don't actually need any drink in my system. And then I actually get a good night's sleep. I remember everything, so I bring it back.
Don't do anything stupid.
Fun of all my friends. All these stuff, dude. The positives, and they don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
That sounds like a uni kid's dream. Imagine all the money uni students spend on drinks. I'll be spending on bloody FIFA match attacks or something. I don't know. I don't play FIFA, but something dumb like that. I'll have an abundance. Can't wait.
All right. So you haven't got drunk before?
Nope.
Do you reckon you will though? Ever?
I feel like to say I wouldn't would kind of be unrealistic. So I would say I probably will, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go out of my way to. And it's not even gonna be one of those situations when everyone's drinking in the kitchen and they're like, "Oh, Michael, just drink a few more," because I've already been in so many of those situations, and just I only want to drink on my terms, and if I decided to want to. So I'm not saying I'm going to be doing vodka shots in my room because I'm like, yeah, I only drink because I want to.
Yeah.
Not that, but at the same time, it's not going to be a peer pressure thing. It's probably just going to be me deeply thinking for like loads of time. Like, is this the time? What do I get out of this? Is it worth it? All that stuff. But right now, I haven't really come to the decision that it's worth it for me. Yeah.
Has Sam kind of put you off it?
No, it's not actually that. He
doesn't get hungover though.
No, I haven't seen him that bad that many times. But I would say what put me off it was when I was in year 10. Was it year 10 or maybe even year 9? I was at a park, like Wensum Park, kind of a nice park, and I was with my friends, and they were all taking like vodka shots. I don't even know where they got the vodka from, to be fair. I think what they do is they pay money to a homeless man to get them alcohol.
Oh, is that what they actually did?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, didn't you give interest to the homeless man, obviously? So he just win. It's a win-win, I guess. But that's what they did. We were in Wensum Park. Everyone was drinking, and we were just a bunch of dudes, like 8 of us. But those guys got so destroyed. I think I took 2 shots, and I told my mum straight away. I was like, "Yeah, I wanted to taste what it tasted like."
No, it's nasty, man.
It's nasty. I thought it tasted like baby water or like baby soap.
Baby water.
I don't know why. The idea of baby soap just came to my mind and it's not left ever since. But seeing my friends and the way they were acting, although it was 100% funny at the time, and I've still got recordings and it's so funny to watch back. But I just imagine if I was one of them dudes, I would feel so ashamed. I would not be able to drop that. Let's just say it. And I don't ever want to be in a position where I take 7 shots and I'm like that, because if anybody else sees that dude, I will never get a peaceful rest in my days. I will.
You reckon it'll play on your mind that bad?
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of those guys to feel guilty after like accidentally calling a friend fat who. Wait,
He's a little bit chubby.
No. I'm the first person to jokingly call a friend fat. I mean, I'm the first person to feel guilty about calling somebody a friend fat when they actually are conscious about their fatness, right? Like, I'm the first person to feel guilty about those sort of stuff. So if I was like being a complete mess and then my friend had to look after me, that would get me, dude. That would
Really?
Yeah, I would feel so bad. I don't know why though.
I guess
That's just me.
Maybe at uni you'll learn to like not be as self-conscious, or I wouldn't say overthinking, but because like you're all looking after each other at uni, and like you're bound to make a tit of yourself sometimes, even if you don't mean it. Does that ever play on your mind?
What, like completely embarrassing myself?
Yeah,
I'd say that's the thing which plays on my mind the most. I just want to always be able to control myself, right? I never want to be in a state where I have to I have to be looked after by somebody else. Maybe it's also not a lack of trust, but maybe it's a general lack of trust of other people to look after myself. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't I wouldn't trust my friends to look after me, but it's more like if I can help it, then I want to be the person to make sure I'm not completely screwed, right? It's something.
Oh yeah, it's a lack of control, I guess.
Yeah. Because I don't know. At the same time, because I've never been drunk, I don't know what I'd be like drunk right now. I'm crazy sober, dude. If I was drunk,
yeah,
that's not. That I need to pay somebody to look after me. I need a babysitter.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into funny stories about school?
I was just gonna say something, but you just ruined the flow, man.
Yeah. I apologise to the listeners.
No, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
Go on then.
No, you do your funny stuff.
What? Okay.
We're getting deep with Michael because he's like.
Yeah, I'm about to leave knowledge, boy.
I apologise.
Yeah.
It's fine, Chris.
But actually, I got a question. Do you think when you first get drunk, if you first get drunk, in a university environment, would you be a bit scared because you don't have any practice at home?
That's a good question. At the beginning of year 12 or year 13, I told myself I'm going to get drunk at one of these parties so I experience it before going to university, because it would not be a good idea me getting drunk for the first time outside of university. Now, that actually has not happened yet because why hasn't that happened? I don't know why that hasn't happened, but I haven't seen the opportunity yet. So that does loom on my mind. Like, the first time I will realistically get drunk will be in university, and it's quite scary. So, but then again, I just hope to make good enough friends that it's not so much of an issue.
Yeah.
I think my fear is the first time I'll get drunk will be surrounded by people I don't particularly trust. Let's just say I don't trust to look after me. But if I make good enough friends, then I'm pretty sure that fear will probably be a lot less. So I'm not so worried about that.
We have an opportunity for you, Michael.
What are you talking about? I'm not getting dude, I'm not getting drunk in a damn cabin. Okay, what's this? No.
Nah, it's actually pretty good.
What the cabin?
Yeah, it's good in the cabin. We have the disco lights.
Oh, mama days. Oh, that's the thing. I'm not even looking forward to the time, which is why I don't see myself really getting drunk anytime soon. Because most people probably do look forward to it, right? Or because it's a fun experience. But for me,
yeah, you do at first, but then you just think of the hangovers. If you have bad hangovers, you just think of the hangovers.
Oh, okay.
And then it puts you off it. And then you have to reason with yourself, is it worth it if I'm writing off a whole day afterwards? And then you just have to do it on special occasions, which is why I'm semi-retired.
I get you. No, that's what I think. Is there most people finish drinking, or at least finish the crazy drinking. They finish even once they've got outside of university. They're like, I had my fun, but I don't need it anymore. Now, if I can survive the whole of university without having to do that, I'm pretty sure I could probably survive the whole of my life, right, without really even getting to that point. Because there's plenty of adults who never really drank as kids. Like, I guess my parents probably aren't the best examples, just because they were raised in Nigeria, and it was a completely different situation back there. There was a lot less people drinking, and even the people who did were seen as not lower, but they were seen, because there's much more of a mentality for work, get your education and prosper. It's not so much of enjoy yourself in this country. So, but they are still an example I kind of look to. If they can survive the whole childhood and still have so much fun, but without drinking, I can too. And it's really only surviving university, because after that, most people are kind of like, I've had my fun. Now to worry about other stuff, family, all that stuff. So,
what about stag do's?
Stag do's.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ben has one.
Okay. All right. Ben has just joined us on the podcast. Right now, we're talking about Michael's decision not to drink alcohol. Maybe at uni, but he'll play it by ear, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was just going to ask him, would you ever get drunk on a stag do?
Well, that's a good question. I don't even know what stag do is like. Are you talking about like still stag do where there's like a stripper strippers everywhere? And
it depends, like what kind of friends.
Yeah, I don't know, because it really just does depend what type of stag do you go to, right? Because there could be another stag do where we go roller skate. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not roller skating, but you could do something like paintballing. Or
Go-kart.
power gliding, or I don't know, something. Yeah,
paragliding, damn, that's a hard stag do, man.
You could do all those stuff.
Don't want to be drinking then.
Or you could be in a room with a bunch of strippers and having fun that way too, drinking. That could also be fun.
Would you do it?
Would I do that one? Probably not. That's the thing. Because also, what if I am a dumb drunk, and a sort of dumb like, what if my hand slips, accidentally touches a stripper where I'm not supposed to, and what if I have a girlfriend at the time? Okay, what about that? Or what if I have
would your girlfriend want you in a strip club in the
No, not in a strip club. No, I don't know.
Would she know about it?
Yeah, that's the thing. When does the bride ever know about the details of the stag do? That they don't, right? It's just what happens here stays here.
The stag do it's the only sin-free night you'll get in your life. It's just a pass, really. It's like, all right, you're getting married, you're gonna be tied into this. Have a night, have fun. We'll let any sins just slide.
Yeah, don't worry.
Jesus gives you that free pass. Yeah.
Actually, there's a book I'm reading called The Amber Spyglass, and it's not too much of a spoiler. One of the priests, he does, I forgot what it's called, but he does like a lot of prayer because his task is to kill someone for forgiveness before even killing someone. He does a lot of prayer. And rituals, so God forgives him before he does the dirty deed. So he builds up a little power bank, some tokens you can spend.
That is a damn good idea, dude. That sounds like I was gonna say the abundance of penance. I'm trying to make it sound really religious, you're hoarding the penance. I don't know.
It's called like was it preemptive? Something like that.
Preemptive reconciliation.
No, something like that. Maybe not reconciliation.
You should know.
But why would I know?
Do you not go to church? Do you not hear these religious words thrown out?
Well, no one's ever talked about sinning and then asking forgiveness before. It's a still taboo thing.
Well, this book was written by an atheist, I think, so he just added to like his own interpretation. Cool. He just made it up. It's a book. It's fiction, man.
Michael, why are you acting this fiction is my life?
I'm just saying that they were getting some fiction elements from the real world, so you should.
Surely every fiction is making elements from the real world, Michael. What is this?
That's why you can comment on any fiction book, Chris. That's the whole point.
True.
Yeah, the end. Okay, well, shut your mouth. Okay, go back to reading your little 12-year-old books. Okay.
Yeah, Michael, was it?
Okay. Hold on.
Have you just overwritten some of the...
No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, Ben. Tell me about your freshers advice. I'm fascinated.
Okay. I haven't got much advice for freshers, but from what I can remember, I've gathered a few bits of advice.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest one is where I went, Warwick. They put on events every night. Like try and go to every night. Like you're not gonna get anywhere just by being in your room by yourself. Like freshers is the only really acceptable time, like where you can walk into a random person's flat and they're like, hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Instead of like go away. It's the only week throughout like your whole time at uni it's literally a free pass to meet anyone, I think.
Okay.
Before people start forming their friendship groups.
Cliques.
Section.
What about if you're just walking down the street and you just see somebody? Do you say hi, or do you just?
You can do. I mean, it's not frowned upon. It's pretty acceptable, like to be fair.
Okay.
And yeah, you probably get places if you've done that.
Maybe that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm just going to say hi. My name's Michael. Congrats to getting here. Well, no, that would be weird. Never mind.
Congrats to getting here.
I'm not. Okay, no. But I'll try. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll try to do. I'll actually just force myself to say hi to every somewhat social. Because you can kind of tell the sort of person you don't want to approach at the same time, though.
What do you mean?
The sort of exchange student who has their head down and just like, I don't want to talk to this disgrace. But at the same time, you can tell the sort of guy who you just looks like approaching wouldn't be that bad, Yeah. So looking around maybe.
Make sure. Yeah.
All right. So over to the current news section of the podcast. Michael will now be telling us about the new Dave Chappelle documentary that you can find on Netflix.
Okay, guys. If you guys haven't heard, Dave Chappelle has been everywhere in the news recently. He's come out with I don't really want to call it controversial, but actually no, that is probably the right word to use. A new controversial special on Netflix called Sticks and Stones, where he touches on a lot of topics which generally he believes people just aren't allowed to talk about anymore. So he mentioned stuff about Michael Jackson's victims. He talked about abortion. He took a very interesting perspective on that. He also talked about stuff like Jesse Smollett, which I guess a lot of people talk about. But he's kind of the thing which is interesting about his special is most of the people who are listening to it seem to agree with what he's saying, but the people who are against him and making like a kind of like hit campaigns against him are the journalists who he's attacking. So he makes a joke at the very beginning, which he says that he's doing an impression of somebody, and he essentially just does a voice of like, okay, he says, okay, guess who I am? I think I found something in your past, and that thing in your past, I don't like that so much. I'm ruining his joke, obviously, it's really shocking, but I don't like that so much. I think you need to be ruined because you need to be cancelled, and your whole life needs to be ruined because of this. And then he asks the audience, who do you think that was? Who do you think that was an impression of? And then he says, that's what you sound like to me. Okay, that's what you sound like. So it's like kind of like he's kind of saying he feels like the audience, and not even just the audience, but just the general listeners these days are so sensitive and always think, oh, this person said one little thing, which is so weird, like which is kind of, what do you say, controversial or not politically correct, and this person's life needs to be destroyed. And to be fair, we have seen that, like with what's his face, Kevin Hart. His life wasn't destroyed, but he was removed off
the Oscars.
The Oscars because he made a comment like 10 years back, or like a really far like time back, where he just makes like a gay joke or something about his son.
There's something about Conor Maynard? What's his name?
Jack Maynard of I'm a Celeb. Yeah, there was a tweet that was dug up where he said the F word, not the ones that rhymes with duck, the ones that rhymes with baguette.
Okay.
Yeah, he said that, and I think he said the N word as well, maybe.
Damn.
Yeah. And I don't think he believes in saying those things now, but he got removed from the show.
Too many
because he
said that, yeah.
What did you say, Ben?
There's too many flannels in the world.
Wet flannels.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, though, when do you reckon that is the maximum limit you can hold someone accountable to on Twitter?
A Twitter or like a joke that somebody makes.
A joke, let's say, yeah. So, because obviously, if I said, or no, maybe not a joke, if I just said something that was offensive now, no joke, you would obviously hold me accountable to that. But say that was 8 years ago and I said that.
There's a thing called forgiveness, I guess.
Oh, to be fair though, if I was an employee, right, like let's say I was an interviewee, and then I have a dude in front of me, and somehow I find on his Twitter, let's say it's even 8 years ago, but let's say he said, all the Jews need to die, and those blacks too, pretty annoying. Like, let's say he said something like that, right? Even though it was 8 years ago, I could still see why, as an employer, because that's your first impression of the person, you kind of might be like, do I even want to take the risk on this person? Like, I know it was 8 years ago, I know you could have, like, improved, but maybe not. But I think the difference with the stuff which are happening now is that they're literally completely normal people whose lives seem to represent completely different, so they seem completely inclusive, all these stuff. But they hear, like with the Kevin Hart thing, they hear he said one thing so many years back, even though his current life obviously doesn't represent that, and then they literally are like, oh, you can't be in these Oscars because of that. That, to me, makes no sense. Like, it's until there's evidence to prove that you're no longer like that, then yeah, I guess it's alright for people to judge you for it. But most of the cases when somebody says something 10 years ago, they've changed, and you could see that on their social media. So
yeah,
no, I'm more interested in the jokes part. At what point do you think
A joke is too far?
Yeah.
Well,
if it can be.
Oh, that's something that hits home
Are
because
jokes ever too far?
I don't know. There's something that hits home because at Warwick University there was. Have you heard of the rape group chat?
Yeah. I think this was touched upon in one of our previous.
Oh yeah, I think I told you about it.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, they had a group chat and like someone found out like from the showed their friend and that person got like offended and then like told everyone else and then it blew up and then like some boys got excluded or something.
Yeah.
For 10 years or permanently banned or something like that. And like they were doing like really, really dodgy jokes, if you can call them that.
But were they good though, Tim?
They weren't. They like you'll have to search it up, but like it's not good stuff. It wasn't funny. But like,
was it a joke with sinister intention?
Don't know. That's where it comes to it. Like, this is like a private group chat. No one else was intending to see it, but like because it was whistleblowed, kind of, these boys like kind of wrecked their whole uni careers, haven't they?
Damn.
Yeah. I think with those situations, although I don't agree that it's right per se that they get completely removed from the school establishment for that, but in the real world you have to be realistic. An establishment or like a university like Warwick, they don't want their name to go down the drain because they didn't act when something like that was shown. Like in the public eye, if Warwick didn't do anything, then they're going to get a bunch of backlash. So it's like with businesses, right? How they make public Twitter apologies, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually care, but you have to do some PR. So as much as I don't think people should be completely destroyed because of stuff they say, at the same time, when you're saying those stuff, you have to remember where you are. Those guys, if they said that and they were, let's say, they weren't at university, they were just a bunch of kids, not even in education, none of this would have happened. They wouldn't, what would they, maybe get fired from a job they might have, but if they didn't have a job, anything like that, I feel like there wouldn't be anybody who could possibly, they wouldn't be punished by anybody, right? Because
no one would care.
Yeah, nobody would care.
Yeah.
But that's the sad part. They were at university and it was a private chat, right? Like, who whistleblow? Like, why would?
I think it's because they had someone who they all hated and they made rape jokes against her. It wasn't just like general rape jokes.
Yeah,
Okay,
they named people, and also, you know what he's talking about, the uni not wanting to bring shame on themselves.
Yeah.
They, after like making a decision to ban these people, they went back and like either reduced or got rid of the ban, and that had a massive backlash as well.
The thing is, they may have thought they were being smart. They may have thought that people will only pay attention to the
the
like,
major
getting rid of them, and then they could like under the scenes like be like, okay, you guys can actually come back, but that didn't work in the end. We're not happy.
I don't think you would want to go back anyway, because your name's been tarnished.
100%.
You'll get eggs thrown at you or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of dodgy though. I didn't know they were bullying her. Well, although they weren't bullying her, like
not to her face, but behind her, multiple people. And apparently, I think I read someone actually drugged someone.
Oh.
I was like, oh, damn.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you want them people out, don't you?
Because the problem with those sort of group chats too is if there's like a lot of people in it, then I kind of think that's just you. I don't like the idea ever of like a group of people dogging on one person. It just, to me, even though you're not directly bullying that person, if one of those people in the group chat just decide to like make the off comment to the person in real life, because they're so used to being in an environment where they just bully this girl in private, that from that private kind of talking to her to that one person just saying something, now that's become bullying, and then that's a problem. And if somebody actually roofied her or roofied a girl, or maybe you should take those jokes they said seriously. If one of them actually goes off and roofies them, that's just dodge. That is real dodge. But that comedy, nobody cared. Nah. What about comedy as in a comedian delivering the comedy? What about when's it too far for those guys?
Well, literally, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
Comedy special podcast thing.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying a lot of the stuff he says is just made up to be funny.
Yeah.
So when you're paying to see a comedian, you're obviously going to expect for them to like just make jokes out of almost anything in life.
Yeah.
And then there's also the aspect of making jokes out of a dark situation to kind of overcome it, and like, for want of better words.
To contrast, yeah.
The contrast. Explain.
I mean, of course it contrasts it, but how would it make it better?
Yeah, so like with terrorism, you just make jokes out of it to diminish the terrorist points or something like that.
Yeah, I get you.
Suppose so.
Okay, I was about to tell a joke, but it would get edited from the podcast.
Right.
Is it that bad?
No.
Is that edgy?
It was bad.
Shall we pause it?
So Dave Chappelle made a joke about abortion. I kind of feel like I butchered the last one in delivery, so I'm not really gonna try imitate what he said. But he essentially said that he doesn't believe abortions. Like he thinks that ladies have the right to choose. So he doesn't, and he says that he doesn't even believe that the lady has to consult with anybody. But then he was like, but also for those guys, give the guys a bit of a break. If the lady decides she's allowed to kill the baby, then the guy should be able to decide, well, I don't want to have to take care of this baby if she actually goes ahead with having the baby. And he was talking about the kind of double standard in the way that, well, it's the lady's choice. She can decide to get rid of the baby or have the baby, and the guy's not supposed to have a say in it, right? But if the lady decides to have the baby without the guy's consent, or even without the guy's consent, the guy's still expected to pay the bill, well, like pay the childcare, right, and all that stuff, right? So it's like he was trying to either killing the baby is what was it exactly the point he was trying to make? It's kind of either you believe abortion is alright, but then you just don't expect anything of the guy, or you believe it's wrong and you do expect something of the guy. But these people are trying to get the best of both worlds in the way that if you're a lady, you can decide to kill or not kill the baby, but either way, you have all right to make the man pay for the baby. It's kind of he made it funny. Okay, he made it funny, but he brought up an interesting point, about good old abortion, and they got both sides riled up, dude.
Both?
Yeah, both sides.
That's impressive.
Because people pro-choice were saying, how dare you say that a lady doesn't even have to consult anybody, and then people who are pro-life were saying, how dare you say that a lady doesn't deserve the man's money after she has the baby. So yeah, he successfully got both sides.
Wipe out.
Maybe it was his mission of this comedy to just
exactly
trigger a lot of people and prove his point.
That's exactly what this one was, to be fair. That's from all the topics that he... Well, actually, no, not quite. I think what he said was more like his mission was to say what everyone else is thinking, but is too scared. But his mission was definitely to trigger the journalists and all the more PC news people. Because most people you meet on the street aren't as sensitive as the people you see on TV, it seems. The people... Like, for example, in this room, I wouldn't say we're all particularly... because they always say, oh, the people who have these opinions are all really far right. I wouldn't say we're all like.
We're not far right, Michael.
Yeah, we're not far right dudes, are we? We're just dudes in a damn cabin doing some
Drugs.
Yeah, doing some drugs. That's it. Some bloody DMT with that little disco.
Yeah, Michael, pass us the blunt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. People don't breathe that loud when they're doing drugs. Do they? Well, why am I saying do that? They definitely don't. Never mind. It's a quiet thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Have a bomb and you hear the water going.
Oh, true.
You got I guess with the Chappelle thing, the clue's in the name, man. Sticks and stones, mate. All right, I've just looked at the clock and it looks like we're over the hour mark, and I need to go somewhere anyway. So that's the end of the podcast for today. Hope everyone enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
From your host, Timmy Boy. See you later.
Peace.
And have a great time.
Happy days.